Todd, day number one to be in a group, a big group so far, at top of the leaderboard. How does it feel out there?
Yeah, you know, if you talk about a custom-made day to golf and you looked up the recipe, today was it. I mean, I prefer overcast, room temperature with no wind, and we got exactly that. So I was pretty pleased when I saw that the rain was going to hold off at least till later today. And having played here on Thursday, I knew the course was absolutely perfect. So the only barrier to a good score was self-inflicted, so I managed to stay away from most of that today.
What did you do well out there?
You know, I would say the front nine I probably didn't play real well, but I managed to stay out of the real bad spots and then just get it on greens, you know, kind of thing. I three-putted the sixth hole, but other than that, I kept it around the hole enough that I didn't put myself in too much trouble. And then on the back nine, I started to hit my groove a little bit and started hitting better tee shots. Well, after the 10th hole, that was a fantastic par. I think I left myself 230 yards in, and my playing partner might have had 60. So.
So on that note, what's that like? You know, you can keep up with these young kids still, but
yeah, I wouldn't say that. The definition of keep up with them usually to me means distance, and there's no chance. I mean, Jack Rudick had pitching wedge into 4 and 14 today, and you know, I didn't hit great drives, so I'm not even in the same vicinity. There's a Walmart between his and mine, so. But the greens are big enough here that, you know, even someone like me can get it around the greens in two or you know, long putts. So like I said, I don't feel like there's a whole lot of bogeys out there for me because I don't hit it far enough to get into the deep fescue here. They've softened the fescue somewhat, spread it out a little bit. So I'm not too worried about tee shots out here that aren't astray. And then, yeah, like I made 3 nice putts in a row, probably between 8 and 12 feet on 14, 15, 16. 1 for par and 2 for birdie. So, you know, when you don't make a whole lot of bogeys and the birdies count, that's usually what makes a good score.
21 guys are in the red right now. I mean, that's a nice testament to the talent, I guess, of Manitoba amateur golf, right?
Yeah. Yeah, like let's not kid ourselves. They were pretty forgiving with the tee positions. We played a full gold tee today with only 1 black and 1 blue. So if they wanted to, they could certainly do a whole lot of different things. But I'm glad that they let the guys, you know, have a good day one for sure. And, you know, the greens are generally flat out here. It's built for wind. So if you don't get wind, there's not a whole lot of protection on approach shots here. They're wide. So guys can get it on or like hit lots of greens in regulation and then just kind of rely on their putter. So I think you'll see lots of scores being grouped throughout the day. And then if we get a 30K wind one day, there'll be some separation.
Yeah. Obviously a guy like Braxton who did some pretty special things, he's not here. So it does create this wide open race, right? For who's gonna grab it.
Yeah, I think one of my daughters and my wife, we were at the lake this week and they said, so like, how many is Braxton going to win by? And I said, well, he's not playing. They're like, well, so who's the favorite? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, there's a bunch of people.
Right.
So, yeah, you know, when you get the true southward here, when we get a stiff wind, and, you know, the fescue becomes narrower then when you're looking at some windy conditions. And then, you know, I don't think you'll see the cluster of scoring like you will today. Even when the Manitoba Open's here, like, the cluster of scoring is at different levels, but it's always clustered here.
Yes.